So the next two slides, slide 10 and 11, are going to be focusing on the four questions I asked myself during this research for dismantling terrorism finances. Um, Now, a lot of this information I retrieved from research derived from agencies' PDFs of policies, statistics, recommendations, and timelines. I used news sources to piece the development of terrorism financing and to update myself presently in this topic since this is an ongoing threat. Um, I found it that it's a lot of information. It's pretty hard to find because if you type in terrorists or terrorist organizations, obviously you're going to get a lot of different things. And then you got to maneuver into the specific terrorist group you want to search and at specific times. And then you have a multitude of acts and policies and executive orders and just a mess of things that we have did in good terms and bad terms. We've messed up, we've tried, and we have succeeded, but there's much to do. So the first two questions I asked myself was that what is the leading resource for terrorism funding? Well, we lost territory, the 98% in late 2017, early 2018. So oil is out of the picture as well. Taxing the people that lived on their land is out of the picture. But still goes that they have those records as to when they collected off the people that lived off their land. So they're gonna go back at one point and they're gonna extortion those people again because that's what they do the best. They extortion people. So that will be the future revenue that they're gonna collect, especially the Islamic State. Next will be that like I said, they retreated and they ran away with about an estimate of $400 million in cash and invested in gold in Turkey. And they are investing in businesses such as real estate and car dealerships. And they're really trying to lay low where no one can point fingers at whatever they have left because obviously that's what they're going to safeguard. Question two would be, are the following investigations on illegitimate businesses and charities, such as money laundering, conducted the same as suspected terrorist financing? And is it easy to spot terrorist funding? Not all money laundering is terrorist financing, but all terrorist financing is money laundering. So this is why there are so many conventions and task force and agencies that have gotten together to use laws that were given for money laundering because these laws are useful for terrorist financing because essentially when there's terrorism financing, it's pretty much the same thing as money laundering, except they're exploiting it for political violence coming from like jihad movements and just bad things coming from terrorists, right? So if we look into terrorist financing, it might not be money laundering, but if we look into money laundering, it more than likely is going to be terrorist financing within the realm of money laundering. So that is why those recommendations from the FATF, the Financial Action Task Force, is really enforced by every member state that signed on with the United Nations. And those are the 40 recommendations, and there's also 9 special recommendations as well. Those recommendations range from search and seizures of sanctions and freezing funds and criminalizing and acting on and so forth.